Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to Olymp Trade. My name is Angie. I'm a financial analyst with Olymp Trade, and today during this webinar, we are going to speak about the different assets that are available on the platform, when and which to choose to trade, and when it's better to choose which asset. My dear friends, let's go ahead and check the sound in the picture. Please let me know in chat if you can hear me and if you can see me well. And then, of course, we are going to get started. While I am waiting for your confirmations in chat, please let me remind you, you already saw the pop-up. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and, of course, ring the bell so that you're always up to date. I also have another important announcement. What I want to tell you about is that many of you probably know that Olymp Trade recently celebrated its 6th birthday. Whoop, whoop. And in honor of this event, the company has launched. Let me see if you can. Just want to make sure everything's okay with the sound and picture. Yes, yeah, good. Janusz, thank you so much for that confirmation. So once again, as many of you know, Olymp Trade recently celebrated its 6th birthday. And in honor of this celebration, the company has launched another brand new tournament, my friends. It's called Inspire. The tournament is going to go on until November the 2nd, so there is plenty of time to compete and win prizes. And the what's even more awesome, and I guess my main announcement, is that the original prize pool was $66,000, and now it is $500,000, my friends. That's a $500,000. So definitely take part and enjoy. You can check out the details by following the link to the tournament in the description of the video. It's the first link. It says tournament link. And also at the end of this video, I am going to raffle a risk-free trade. So you definitely want to stick around for that. Also, my friends, please don't forget to leave your comments and share your thoughts below this video because we absolutely love to hear from you. Okay, let me just check one more time. Everything's good. Thank you for the compliments, my friends. Let's go ahead and get started with the different assets. Again, this stream is probably going to be a little bit more helpful for our beginner traders who want to learn how to start trading and who are not really familiar with all the different instruments, the financial instruments that we have on our platform. So once again, assets we can find in the upper left corner. This is where you actually also switch between Forex and fixed time trading. In the previous streams, we went over the whole platform and how to use it, the difference, and all the parameters and stuff like that. So now it's ideal to speak about the assets. Assets are different financial instruments that we can invest in or that we can trade on their price fluctuations. The first in line that we have here is called the currency pairs. Currency pairs, let me go ahead and choose the famous Euro US dollar. Each currency pair has two parts, which are two different national currencies. The first currency that we have right here, in this case, is the euro. This is called the base currency. The second part that follows is called the quote currency. And this means that if we are looking, for example, on the euro US dollar, this means that for 1 euro, because this is the base currency, for 1 euro, we can purchase 1.18 in some sense of US dollars. And this would work in a similar manner with, for example, different currency pairs. If we're looking at the USD CHF, CHF stands for Swiss franc. This means that for 1 US dollar, we can purchase this amount of the Swiss franc. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see if my head is covering the chart, but yes, so for 1 US dollar, because that is the base currency, that is the first in line, and the second part is the quote currency. So for 1 US dollar, we can purchase a little bit under 1 Swiss franc. Where's the raffle going to be, Ada? It's going to be right here at the end. Let me just go ahead and tell you about the different assets, and then we'll proceed to our raffle, my friends. So again, like currency pairs is just like, for example, going to the bank or to a currency exchange office, and we need to exchange our national currency for a foreign currency if we're, for example, traveling or if we're going on vacation and stuff like that. So whenever we need to exchange currencies, this is basically the same thing. So now I want to speak about what has an effect on different national currencies. Generally, my friends, it is the state of the economy, of those economies that we have, the two currencies that we have in the pair, and also, for example, news releases. I want to give you some examples about the news releases. For example, we have the famous non-farm payrolls, and since we're looking at the euro US dollar, you always have this little reminder on the bottom what day and what time we are going to have the non-farm payrolls release. The non-farm payrolls release, this gives us an insight on what's going on with United States employment. So if people are working, they have money, they spend this money, and obviously this is good for the economy. So a strong report would bring the US dollar up, and a weak report would bring the US dollar down. Or for another example, my friends, we have the GDP, which stands for Gross Domestic Product, which is the total value of goods and services produced in that country. So if a country reports on a good GDP, this means that it's producing and that the economy is expanding. So a good report would bring that national currency up, and a weak report would bring the national currency down. Many different countries, they have, of course, similar reports. Of course, everybody reports on GDP, everybody reports on employment, interest rates, and so forth. My friends, for more information about the economic calendar and different weekly releases, definitely watch our weekly roadmaps that we release in the beginning of each week. So another thing to remember is that when we're looking at different currency pairs is that some are considered to be major currency pairs, and these are currency pairs that contain the US dollar, and they are fairly popular to use, so any cross with US dollar. Likewise, some currencies like, for example, USD JPY, I'm sorry, so some currencies are considered to be safe haven assets, some currencies, not the actual pair itself. For example, the United States dollar is considered to be a safe haven asset. The Japanese yen is definitely a safe haven asset, and also the Swiss franc. You see, what happens is that people tend to buy these currencies when there is uncertainty and turmoil on the market. And there are also commodity currencies, and commodity currencies are considered to be like the New Zealand dollar. For example, they're very their economy is really based on heavily based, excuse me, on trade, especially dairy. Also, the Australian dollar also heavily relies on trade. So these are more risk currencies because these countries, like I said already, heavily rely on trade. So when there's uncertainty on the market, and people tend to sell these currencies and invest in something more safe. Safe haven currencies are considered to be more safe because of the stability and power of their economies. Okay, I am going to check the chat a little bit later. Let's see here. Praveen, please check out our different videos because in our previous, just last week, we went over the whole platform, and I do mean quite literally from the beginning, exactly what is FTT, how does it work, which button you have to press, how to choose the amount, which time frame. So definitely please check out those videos. They will be very helpful for you. Alrighty, so the next one that we have in line is called stocks or shares. My friends, these are large and popular companies. They belong to a large variety of different sectors, of course. So these are just a lot of different large and popular companies. The thing that I want to say about stocks is that you generally want to buy shares of large and profitable companies, and then you want to hold the positions while the company grows. But life right now is very interesting, especially with the ongoing pandemic. And during different times and during different news releases, we can take advantage of these price fluctuations to make a profit. And let me go ahead and briefly explain. Let's go ahead and take, for example, Starbucks. As I remember when there were massive protests in Hong Kong last year, and Starbucks had to shut down many of their coffee shops and stores. And also, when the pandemic started and there were national lockdowns because of the coronavirus, and again, shops were closed. Obviously, this is bad for company profit, and it makes sense that we could expect a drop in the price of Starbucks shares. On the flip side of the coin, and this is why I just want to show you that there are so many different ones that you can choose from. There's a ton of different companies. We actually have videos that are dedicated to explaining what each of these companies mean. Down here is where we have Amazon. So on the flip side of the coin, considering the pandemic lockdown situation, companies like Amazon were able to make a big profit because people were and actually still are sitting at home and prefer to shop online. So during this time, while some companies suffered, other companies like Amazon profited. So you have to remember that we're always looking at different news releases, what's going on with the different companies, and so forth. And also, for another example, Apple shares. We can always expect a price movement when the company launches a new product, right? Another cool thing about stocks is that they release a quarterly report during earnings season where they show how the company is doing. So during these reports, we can also expect a price movement in different companies because they report on different days. Okay, so next I want to tell you about indices. Um, these are a collection of different company stocks. The NASDAQ, for example, is a combination of 100 large company shares, many of which are in the technology sector. By the way, I think I saw our friend Pranesh S. If you are still here, yes, you were absolutely correct during the last stream. It is the same thing as US 30. NASDAQ is 100 large companies, many of which are in the technology sector. The S&P 500 is a combination of 500 large company shares. The Dow Jones is, for example, compiled of 30 large companies. Now, what we have to remember is this is the same concept that goes for indices from other countries. Let's see here. The CAC 40 is, for example, for France. The DAX is Germany. Nikkei is Japan. And the Hang Seng, they do differ a little bit on FTT and Forex. But basically, as you can see right here, we have the Hang Seng, which is for Hong Kong. And also we have the basic dollar index here. I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit later. So the thing to remember about indices is that they generally, anti-correlate with the national currency. This means that if the US dollar is falling, US indices are usually rising. And this is about correlation, and I will, of course, talk to you a little bit about correlation a little bit later. So next in line, what I want to tell you is about commodities. Commodities are different metals, of course, and as well as Brent oil and natural gas. Gold is another favorite, a super safe haven asset. People tend to buy gold during, again, uncertainty because it's never going to lose its value. It's sturdy and long lasting, and it's fungible. Fungible means that if, for example, you have a piece of gold that weighs 1 ounce, and I have a piece of gold that weighs 1 ounce, they're going to cost the same regardless of where we are in the office. Alrighty. So once again, one of the biggest advantages of gold is that you cannot deflate it. You can't print it like economies do for their national currencies. So you can't make more than there is. Brent oil, also in our commodities, it relies on demand. If the world is working and operating, there is need for oil and the price will rise. If the demand slows and there is excess oil that is not being used, then the price will fall. The next thing I want to tell you about is cryptocurrencies, and I think everybody's probably heard about Bitcoin. For example, these are different virtual or digital currencies based on a network that is distributed across a large number of computers. Cryptocurrencies are still being researched and developed. I personally do not trade on cryptocurrencies often, but if you are interested in the crypto world, there's most certainly lots of material and news releases about the blockchain world. And last but not least, I want to tell you about ETFs. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Funds, which is a basket of different stocks similar to indices. Sometimes they belong to a certain sector, or they can contain a whole bunch of different stocks from different sectors and different companies. My friends, don't forget that you have this really, really fabulous section. If you click on more and you go to Insights, you can look at different articles about different assets. You can actually go also right here into assets and look at different forecasts for different assets. So this is very useful information. Don't forget that this is here for you, for your advantage, for your education. So definitely don't forget to check it out. Now, the next thing that I wanted to tell you about was correlation, but I do have to open something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the full screen, my friends. Please don't mind me. What I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to launch a game. You probably don't see hold on, give me just 2 seconds. I'm going to launch a game. It's going to be a lottery. And what I would like to ask you to do is go ahead in chat, write the word Olymp, like Olymp Trade, but just write Olymp. And give me just 1 second. I'm going to do something that I need to do to show you. But in the meantime, my friends, everybody write in chat the word Olymp. So Olymp without trade, just Olymp. Yes, exactly. Debasius, very, very, very good. Yes, we're about to raffle a risk-free trade. Okay, give me just 2 seconds here, my friends. Yes, I see your names appearing. Great, 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 great. I'm going to try and work fast while we are adding our names. I want everybody to have a chance and to participate. Okay. Just a brief second. Everything's working out just fine and dandy, my friends. Thank you so much for your cooperation. I'm going to show you what we're doing in just a second. Alrighty. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Switch back to my platform. And let me go ahead and show you what we're doing. So I launched a lottery. If you write Olymp in chat, your names should appear in this box right here. Let me go ahead and see in chat. So we have 70 people watching and only 27 names in the chat so far. Let's just give it a second more. Okay, if you see that your name has already appeared, you don't have to, keep writing it. Okay, it looks like, let's see here. Do I see this name? Yes, I see this name. Pranesh, you are here. Ada is also here. Fantastic. Okay, let's just give it one more minute. Since you waited for me, I'm going to wait for you. Only fair, right? And then we'll go ahead and raffle a risk-free trade. The winner, I will ask you to please send me your ID in chat once we see who the winner is. Alrighty, my friends, I think that's about it. Yeah, do see a few more people are adding, a few more people are appearing. And I'm going to go ahead and start the raffle. I'm going to go ahead and click play and find our winner. Let's find our winner. For today, it is going to be Pritham. Pritham, my biggest congratulations to you. After the stream, I will take care of it and give you a risk-free trade. Pritham, if you would, please kindly send me your ID in chat. Great, everyone, for participating. Starting from this week, we are going to start to, again, have a lot more activities for you with entertainment and, of course, with prizes. Next time, I think maybe we'll do a test or something to test your knowledge, if you remember. Do you guys remember the games that we played, the Jeopardy game? Did you guys like that? I'd love to hear your feedback in chat. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and let me know. Okay, I see you. Fantastic. I got you, Pritham. Thank you so much for that. Great. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and proceed. I think that worked out just fine and dandy. What I wanted to show you is the different trading sessions. We're going to speak about the different trading sessions, and then I'm going to tell you about assets that correlate and assets that anti-correlate. So when we have a correlation is when two assets are moving in the same direction. When we have an anti-correlation, the assets work the opposite way. So one is going up, the other is going down. So about trading sessions, my friends, I hope that you can see my my display. What we have to remember is that the world is huge and there are obviously different time zones, and likewise we have different trading sessions. The trading day starts off with in Asia and also in Sydney. So basically, this is called the Asian trading session. And this is when businesses, banks, and other large financial institutions are opened and they are operating during their normal business hours. This means that they're also traders, they are also investors, they also exchange different currencies. So this is when we have more activity. So what I want to say is that during the Asian trading session, for example, you want to trade assets that belong to those countries. So countries that are in the Asian region. This would be the Japanese yen. This would be the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, the Japanese Nikkei index, and of course the Hang Seng index, for example, so for Hong Kong. Then what we have is the London trading session. And during this session, assets with the euro, assets with the British pound, assets with the Swiss franc, also the indices, Euro Stocks index, and the German DAX are all going to be more active. So you'll have more price fluctuations to work with. And then, of course, we have the US trading session. And this is when we would want to trade the US dollar in about the same time, maybe the Brazilian real. The thing that I want you to notice is that the London and the the United States trading session, what they do is they overlap. This is really important because companies on both sides of the Atlantic are operating and during their normal business hours. This, my friends, is considered to be the most active trading session and the most active time, which is between approximately, excuse me, 12 and 4 p.m. GMT. The times may change a little bit during different times of the year because some countries have daylight savings when they turn the clock by an hour. But about this time, about from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. GMT is the most active trading session. We do also have a little overlap right here where Tokyo is closing its trading session and London is opening. So we do have a lot of finishing activities for like the Japanese yen and new activities for the euro and the British pound, for example. Okay, so now let me tell you a little bit about correlation. A little bit about correlation. And once again, correlation means that two assets move in the same direction. Anticorrelation means that two different assets generally move in the opposite directions. Of course, the assets are not going to move completely and exactly the same, but overall, a correlation between some assets is pretty strong. So, what I want to show you right here is don't forget to use your super awesome tool, which is down here. This is called the split screen. I did show you this previously. And this is where you can use two different assets. You can trade two different assets at the same time. You can also have Forex on the left hand side, and for example fixed time trading on the right hand side, or you can trade FTT on both sides, or however it's more comfortable for you. I just want to show you how different assets correlate and anti-correlate. For example, the euro US dollar correlates with GBP USD. Okay, let me just zoom out so you have a better view. So you have to understand that they don't move in exactly the same direction, but they do have a correlation. So it's not 100%, but we can definitely look at these two different assets and trade them in the same direction at certain times. Of course, we do have to analyze the situation. Likewise, the euro US dollar and the Australian dollar US dollar. So because Australian dollar is the second part, they kind of correlate. Also with euro and the Swiss franc, they move in a similar manner. And I want to stress again, in a similar manner, not 100% of the time. Previously, I mentioned that indices tend to anti-correlate with their national currencies. What I want to show you is the dollar index. Let's look at the dollar index, and let's look at I don't know. Let's look at Dow Jones. Okay, as you can see, we have a major downtrend on the dollar index, and we have an uptrend on the Dow Jones. The dollar index, this is used to measure the value of the US dollar against a basket of 6 world currencies. That is the euro, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, and the Swedish krona, or the Norwegian krona. So it basically shows us how the United States dollar is doing against other major economies. I also want to show you that gold anti-correlates with the US dollar. Let me go ahead and show you this right here. As you can see, we have a major downtrend right here on the dollar, and we have an uptrend on the on gold. So, and another. Let me go ahead and just show you one more, and that is I wanted to show you with an ETF. So, for example, the NASDAQ reversal, and you can look at the NASDAQ index right here. We have an anti-correlation. When the ETF reversal is going down, the NASDAQ is going up. So basically, I just wanted to The general idea here is that you can consider and trade on more than one asset to maximize your profit. Whew, my friends, I think that was a lot of information for today. Once again, I want to remind you about the tournament that we increased the prize pool to $500,000. Definitely check out the link that's in the description of this video. It's going to take you straight to the tournament, and you can read all about it and go ahead and join and participate and trade and win. Again, please leave your comments below this video. I love to hear from you. And as always, I just want to remind you to please make sure that you are subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up, ring the bell, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for participating. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that this stream is going to be helpful for you to start trading so that you can look at the different assets. Don't forget about the demo account. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect. And join us for a stream on Thursday. Thanks so much, my friends. Bye-bye.